Spinning range blaster real. We did it, guys. CRB is fully confirmed now. Anyone who doubted the analysis, anyone who was skeptical, anyone who was sure they'd mess it up somehow, nope. We know now. There's no going back. So, that's pretty cool. Let's talk about this one, though. The heavy edit splatling with Splat Bomb and Crab Tank. So, that is what we are talking about this time. I think heavy edit is going to be an interesting one to discuss. And the first thing I want to talk about, possibly the biggest downside of this weapon, is not what you're thinking of. The biggest downside of the brand new heavy edit splatling is the team comp you have to build with it. This thing is Splat Bomb Crab, but heavy edit has a long charge time. One of the longest in the entire game. So it's really awkward to pair this with Pencil, because it just creates like a lot of slow times where you just get outpaced, especially on retake. So you can't play with Pencil. And we didn't put a new cooler weapon in the game this patch. So outside of a few weird Dynamo maps maybe, or some odd Tri-Nouveau situations, 90% of the time, you have to pick this with a Zap. And Zap is okay. Zap functions right now. It's fine. But this isn't really the cooler weapon you want. I feel like I've said this before, but I'll reiterate it again. It was probably in the Bamboo video, where this weapon loses a lot of matchups. It gets away because it's fast, particularly with coolers, so it can fight. And it has a bomb to poke. But, you know, it's not a backline, which is what people want their cooler weapon to be right now. And it's just going to struggle a lot at fighting. It's like a weaker Splatter Shot. And Splatter Shot's main problem is already that it kind of sucks at fighting all the mid lines. I think Zap is just going to be difficult to run. So you have to run Zap, Edit together. And I think that's literally its biggest weakness, is I don't think you really want to run a comp with Zap. Now, is it enough to make the weapon bad? Absolutely not. This is not that big a deal. Realistically, Edit will be fine. You will be able to play Crab Edit. So, let's talk about vanilla Edit for a little bit. Like, just the normal one. Because it's been a while, you know, back when I did my video talking about this originally, it didn't have the paint buff. Edit's in a pretty good spot right now. You know, Edit's a little hard. You do have to play around these partials, which aren't the easiest thing to kill with. You have a bit less range than Not, so you don't get to shred people as easily as Not does, and you have, like, a little bit more RNG. It's not too bad, but, like, you know, it's not the same as Not. Actually, does it even have RNG? I might be wrong on the RNG part. It kind of has a little bit of ground spread. Probably not that big a deal, right? Point being, it's a little bit harder, you know. You're playing off of the mobility for a bit of a weaker main weapon, you know. And I think that's okay, because I think the main is still, like, even though I just called it weaker than Not, I think it's still a pretty damn good weapon, because it just moves so fast and it paints so fast. It's not as good at fighting, but, like, it moves like crazy. This is no run speed, by the way. That's no run. This gun is fast. It's really, really, really fast. But I think my biggest gripe with Edit, something I might talk about in a main channel video, is I don't feel like people are really using the main weapon well at top level play. In fact, I would say at top level, this is the most underused, not underused, like it's played. I don't know the term for this. It's the weapon people are taking advantage of the least. It feels like this weapon gets subject to just painting for cooler bot more than it should be. I feel like this is a weapon that should turn into a long mini splatling whenever it has cooler, and maybe even when it doesn't, and go fight people. And I've fought a few edits who are good enough to do that, but very, very few at the highest level who are capable of pulling that off, like, consistently. And I think that what I'm hoping is that this new edit encourages more people to play it aggressively, because it's Splat Bomb Crab, you know, it's not a cooler kit. So I think with the pressure of being the cooler weapon off, and with the interest probably being with more frontline aggressive players anyway for this kit, maybe people will start to more fully utilize the main weapon, and maybe that can transfer into this kit, the Tacticooler kits. But how good will it be on the edit kit with Crab? First off, Splat Bomb's pretty good on it. For those who don't know, Edit Splatling uses 20% ink on a charge, so that means with no savers at all, you get 1.5 charges after your Splat Bomb, which is pretty damn ridiculous. I don't know if it's going to be worth running enough saver to get 2 after a bomb. Probably not. Maybe you'd run like Last Ditch or something. I don't know. But you're able to use your bomb a lot. That's already a good part about this heavy. Like, I kind of said that you could use curling a lot on this because its ink efficiency is good. Yeah, now you get to use a splat bomb a lot with this. Which means if someone's, like, threatening to run at you, you can just throw a splat bomb to, like, stall. You know, like, bomb goes off, and then while it's blowing up and they wait, I get my charge, and then I peek around the corner and I go with the charge. So it's a great get-off-me tool, right? Like, it does take away your charge, but you can just roll it exactly where the front line wants to go, and it forces them to give you enough time to charge up the weapon a bit more. You can also just poke it as you go in. Like, you can just throw a Splat Bomb and, like, try to follow up on it if you, like, throw it. You know, if you roll it on the ground, it's more get off me. If you throw it in the air and have the later detonation time, you can kind of use that to fight while it explodes a bit more aggressively. I think the biggest downside for Splat Bomb is just, you know, I don't think this weapon really wants to use its bomb too much because I think the biggest strength of the weapon is that it just kind of has a bunch of uptime. Like, it can just stay around painting forever because it'll just paint long enough to get another special, especially on the crab kit. Given it, like, you know, it doesn't have a cooldown while your main weapon's active, so you're going to shoot, like, 5 times, then you're going to get a crab, you'll be shooting at a crab, then you'll shoot 5 times, then you'll get another crab, like, you know, it'll never stop firing at you, really. And I think that's a strength that's better on the crab kit. So, you know, the worst crime about Splat Bomb is it's like, you probably don't need it that much. But I mean, like, it's a Splat Bomb. If you want to use it, it's there. It's cool. So, like, there's not really a major downside here, all things considered. Now, what about Crab? Crab is still pretty good right now. It's a bit limited on option-wise, because, yes, it's on Stamper, but it's very rare, especially in zones only. This is mainly a Rainmaker kit, that you would actually pick this one over the other one. Like, you can. It's good. It's just that if you're gonna put in the effort to learn Stamper, you might as well learn the better one, right? And that leaves, like, you know, this is outclassed and, like, you know, hard to justify seeing use of. So it's mostly Splash and Dooley, which both compete with Shot. That's why we don't see it as much. But Crab is still seen as really strong. It's more consistent than Zuka. It provides more pain output. Its duration is longer, so to, like, have more time it controls the space it's on. Crab is still pretty damn good. Crab is probably pretty underrated right now. So yeah, you're gonna deal with Bazooka, but Crab is gonna be a good special for Edit, 100%. I think it's going to especially help, though, because like I talked about with the comps, you know, you have Zap and you have Edit already, which means you're probably running Backless. You know, at most, you have an Explo with you, because Explo Edit's really good. But if you don't have an Explo, your Edit comp is Backless. You have no Anchor. And one of the best and most essential specials you need if you're running Anchorless, besides Zuka, is a Crab. You absolutely want to have a Crab, because a Crab is your temporary 8-second anchor when you desperately need one. Like, this is just an Explo Hydra. That's way more powerful, right? So, I think it enables the Backless comps way better. And I think the real testament, like, the real question about this new edit is, can it make Zap and Backless comps actually work? Like, can you run Zap, Edit, Backless and have it be good? And I'm not sure. If it was a better short-range cooler option in the game, if it was something that could fight a little bit better, then I would be more confident in it. But right now, I don't know. It's definitely going to be viable. But how good will it be? Not sure. I think we'll have to see. Regardless, I'm very excited. I think that the more I think about it, the more this opens up other opportunities of playing. It's a new playstyle for Edit compared to its supportive one that takes advantage of the strong main weapon. It enables short-range comps and Zap comps a little bit more differently. Like, it gives you an option if you want to play Backless that might be able to compete a little bit more. It's another Crab Tank option, which, while like Stamper, yes, it's probably the weaker of its two kits in terms of how much we'll see it, is still really good. And unlike Stamper Nouveau, I think this will see much more use because they gave it a sub-weapon on this one. So I'm just excited. Like, I think that this is a great addition to the game, and like this is what a good competitive kit should do. It should be able to make you try different combinations of things. It should enable more things to be picked besides just itself. And, you know, I think that's just really exciting. So thanks for watching, guys. This was a bit of a longer ramble. I don't have anything to say on CRB because we got it, but we'll have some more new kits to cover. There's only a few of them left. And, I mean, the biggest one on everyone's minds right now that I want to briefly talk about is Dowser's. The difference in quality if Dowser is a burst bomb or not, because it's like a 45% ink tank, is gonna be really important. I hope that we get a good one, because Dowser is a really cool new main weapon I want to see. Please give it a burst bomb. See y'all next time.